This lesson's on Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams can help you with probability. They're a visual aid, much like a tree diagram or a two-dimensional grid. It's a visual aid to help you visualize the question. First thing, a couple basics about Venn diagram. The box represents the sample space, all possibilities. Your circle represents an event, something that's happened. And so the number that would be in the circle will be an event. It could be, we're going to give letter event A, or it could be something else. As you move through, what's outside of the circle would be what's not in A. Now, in probability, you denote that as A prime or not A. So A prime would be representing for not A, the symbol for not A. If you have more than one circle, then you can have what's in the middle would be the overlap, what's going on between both A and B. Now, A and B would be denoted as A, then it's kind of like an N, a rounded up N. B, that's A and B. So that would be that area right in there in between those two circles, the overlap. If you have, again, a couple of circles, the next one is A or B. Now the or symbol is like a U, a rounded U. That would be everything that's going on in A and B and in the overlap as well. Now it's important to do a Venn diagram because technically you have that spot right here happening in the circle A and in circle B. Now it's happening twice. You don't want to count it twice, you only want to count it once. If you do a Venn diagram, it'll avoid that double counting. That's where we're going to do it. And then you have, if there's nothing in common, so A and B equals 0, there's no overlap, nothing in common, it would look something like that with the two separate circles separated. So you have three symbols A or B, AUB, you have A and B, and you have A not in A. These are three symbols that we'll be working with. So Venn diagram is very useful to count when there's an overlap or when both things are happening. Okay, it'll help separate things. So if I have a class of 20 students, I know 10 study math, 7 study physics, 6 study both. We can put that as a Venn diagram. Okay, so I know I have a both, so I'm going to have my one circle and my other circle. This one could be my math. This one could be my physics. Okay. Now when I'm doing my Venn diagram, I have put the middle in first. So I know I have 6 that study both. And then you can subtract away to get these other parts of the circle. So in math, there are 10 students that study math. 6 of them I've already got them counted for right in here in that part of the circle. So that means I only have 4 remaining. These 2 must add up to 10, which is my 10 math students. I have 6 also right here in the middle, which is in the physics as well. It's in both circles. So that means I only have 1 physics student, because there's 7 in total, that would just be out here in the physics only. If you add these numbers up, you know there's only 20 students, but you add these up, you're going to get a number greater than 20. So you know there must be an overlap. Okay, and that tells you there's too many. How many are not studying in either one of them? Well, you add it up. 4, 6, 4 plus 6, 10, plus 1 is 11, so there'd be 9 students not taking either math or physics. Okay, add these all up, you're going to get your 20 students in total. So I can use that to answer questions. Here's the same Venn diagram that I had before. How many students are studying both? Well, look at it. I have 6 that are studying both. How many are studying math only? Well, there's 4 in the only math circle. This 6 right here is also included in the physics circle. How many students are only studying one of the subjects? Well, I have 4, and I have 1 right there, so I have 5 that are only studying one of the subjects. How many are studying in neither subject? Would be 9. These questions would be very difficult to ask or to answer if you didn't do the Venn diagram. You would, if you look at the question, you'd have to figure out how many of these students are being counted twice. It'd be very difficult to do without doing the Venn diagram. Venn diagram is a good visual aid to help you answer those type of questions. Let's do a couple more. A school has 10 volleyball players and 14 basketball players. Coaches order a bus that can only carry 18 students. So that means there must be some players that are playing both basketball and volleyball. They only need to order a bus for 18 students. So if I'm going to illustrate this as a Venn diagram, okay, how many are going to be in my overlap? So this is basketball, this is volleyball. Okay, So I have 18 students in total, but I have 10 and 14, 10 volleyball players, 14 basketball players, which gives me 24, and I have 24 minus 18, so I have 6 too many in my count. That means that 6 players must be counted twice. So there's 6 that are playing on both. Now, like I said before, you start in the middle and you start subtracting away. So there were 10 volleyball players. I have 6 already counted here. That means there must be 4 remaining. That gives me my 10 volleyball players, 10 in the volleyball circle. Basketball, there's 14 basketball players. I already have 6 accounted for. Okay, so that means there must be 8 in total right there. Add up 8 in only basketball. Add it all up, and you get your 18 players, 18 students. That was what I was counted for. How many players play on both teams? 6. Once you get your Venn diagram, it's very easy to answer. How many people play only basketball? Only basketball would be 8. So once you have your Venn diagram set up, it's very easy to answer the questions afterwards. The third question, here you're going to have multiple circles. I have 140 students in grade 11, grade 12, 52 taking biology, 71 taking chemistry, 40 taking physics. 15 are taking both biology and chemistry. 8 are taking both chemistry and physics. 11 are taking both physics and biology. How many students are not taking science? Again, a very difficult question to answer unless you visualize it using a Venn diagram. So if I want to set up my Venn diagram, okay, I want to have 3 circles, and I know all 3 of these circles are going to overlap because it says I have, sorry, it did not say it, but it will say it, 2 are taking all 3. Okay, so when I'm doing that, I'm going to start in the middle, right in the center. Okay, so I have 2 that are taking all 3. Now I'm going to label them. I'm going to have bio, chemistry, and physics. So I have 2 taking all 3. Now this part right here, and I'm going to start subtracting away as I go. This part right here is in biology and chemistry. Biology and chemistry. So is that 2 as well. So biology and chemistry had 15. I've already got 2 accounted for. So that means I'm going to have 13 remaining. I have biology and physics right here. There are 11 taking biology and physics. I've already got 2 accounted for. This biology and physics portion right here. So that means I have 9 remaining to give me my 11. So I'm starting to subtract the 2 away as I'm going up. Then I had, between chemistry and physics, I had 8. Chemistry and physics, I had 8. 2 already accounted for in this part right here, which means I'm going to have 6 remaining. I'm subtracting the 2 as I'm going. Then I had the ones that are just the individual subjects. Okay, so I need to subtract away from the individual numbers as well. So biology had 52 taking biology. If I take a look at, I already have, how many do I have in the biology circle already? I got 15 plus 9, I have 24. 24 and 52, I have 28 that are only taking biology. I subtract away those numbers from the number just taking biology. There are 71 taking chemistry. In the chemistry circle, I have 15, I have 21. So that means I have 50 that are only taking chemistry. 40 taking physics. I have, add these up, I have 8, 17 already accounted for out of the 40. So that means there's 23 only taking physics. Now I know there's 140 in total, 140 students in total. So if I take all these numbers, add them all up, and subtract away from 140, it will give me 9 that are not taking any of them. So the question was, how many are not taking science at all? And the answer is 9. It's not a bad question to answer once you set up your Venn diagram. If you're just trying to answer it just with looking at the question with all the overlaps, it would be very difficult to do. But to avoid the overlaps, you start with the innermost circle, put your number down, and then start subtracting away as you go. So start in the middle and then start subtracting away as you go, and you'll take care of any overlaps. This is a lesson on Venn diagrams. Thank you very much.